Right, welcome back. Um, Happy to have you here again. Let me just make a little adjustment. There we go. Welcome back to Puerto Rico. Just a quick introduction and then we'll jump right into it. These are going to be smaller practices for a number of reasons. I'm kind of subject to whatever my telephone can handle in a day. Just running on pure data, so the shorter and more concise, seemingly the better, and that's okay. It's nice to have some things that you can just sneak into your day at any given moment in time, and so here we go. This particular practice is going to focus particularly on the lower body, and not so much in a challenging way, but a little bit different type of movement for stirring up some energy in these sort of lower chakras, and also just getting some blood flowing to your hips. Internal organs are going to get a nice detox here as well. We'll focus a little bit on knees and ankles, just softly learning how to move the joints around to keep things feeling healthy and happy, and then finish with a few postures on our back and call it a practice. So let's start out. We're going to begin this one just in a comfortable seated fold with the legs out in front, and I'm going to take my heels even a little bit wider than Paschimottanasana. So you don't have to go all the way into a straddle position here, but just with the feet as far apart as maybe the corners of your mat, and then let the upper body just relax. There's nothing that you have to force to happen here, nothing that in particular that you have to do. Just make it your intention to try to let go. Try to relax the tension in the back of your neck, in your cheekbones, your jaw. If you're comfortable letting the arms just fall at your sides, you can turn your palms up. Start your practice by inviting some new energy, some new prana into your body. Take a moment here to really feel the sensation of slowing everything down. Letting it be okay to just be here on your mat. Know that everything else can wait a little while. You're not going to miss out on anything. There's nothing more important at this moment in time than taking care of yourself. So commit to being right here, right now. Take 3 more deep breaths, and with each of these exhalations, let your body relax even further. And then slowly roll yourself up. Let your eyes open. And back into the present moment. Good. You can pick which foot you want to find, but pick one foot. Bring it up towards your body just as far as you can. And if the knee is not all that flexible in your case, or the hip, that's all right. Just stop where it feels good. If you're a little bit flexier person, you might be able to kind of cradle that foot right away in your arm, and then just start making some really soft little circles, rotating around. When things loosen up for you, you can actually start to orbit around your sits bone, right? So you can feel that little bony protrusion that juts right out of the middle of your butt cheek. That's what we're talking about when we use this sort of magic yoga word, sits bone. I've never heard that before in my life until I went to yoga class. Who knows? Who knows if that's really an accurate description? I like thinking of this as your hamstring insertion point, which it really is. The hamstrings connect way up high into the glutes, and so oftentimes this sort of compression work where you're rolling around, one of those hurt so good type of things, is the best possible thing we can do to help loosen up some of the tightness of the hips and the hamstrings at the same time, because they're all very much connected, right? So you're changing direction every now and again, just rolling around that hip. At the same time, hollow out your low belly, hollow out your low back. This side of the body's not really doing much, just coming along for the ride. Keep breathing. And if you can, connect a rhythm of your breath to your movement, right? So exhaling around, inhale. Rock back. You don't have to do that in any particular way. Just find a breath that makes sense to you. Keep it going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow down and then just stay right where you're at. If your heel is really close to your belly button, you can pull it in there and bring the two a little bit closer together. This is prep for Lotus most of the time. If people are working to learn a Lotus stretch, this is always part of the regimen. If you're not a Lotus person, that's okay. You're just going to hold right here and breathe. Sit up tall, lengthen through your spine. If you are a Lotus person and you want to pull your heel over here, so you can see I'm a prospective Lotus person. It may be in the cards for me, it may not. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it goes. It's been a posture that sort of weaves itself in and out of my yoga practice over the years, and I've just had to accept that, right? Sometimes Lotus is on the menu, and sometimes Lotus is off the menu. Today it's kind of dangling on the menu, but my knee is pretty high up off the ground, which tells me that the last thing I should do is put a bunch of pressure on this posture, because knees do not like to be bullied. They don't have a lot of, leeway to give. So I'm just going to sit with this and be good. If your knee touches down comfortably and you can feel that your hips roll open pretty easily, then you might add a little bit more of a stretching forward fold to this. Otherwise, just sit with me wherever you're at. Close your eyes. And take a moment or two to scan through your body and just notice where you're holding on. Notice where the tension is building. Notice where it seems difficult for you to let go. And try your best to just put some attention there. Use your breath. Breath in, wherever you're at, slowly, carefully, release that leg out, shake it around a little bit if you need to, and then we'll go to the other side. And starting again by just holding your foot. On this side, I am going to modify considerably because of having a little bit of trouble with this knee lately, and so I won't go quite as deep here. But if you were feeling opened up a little bit, again, you could put your foot up here in the crease of your elbow. And then I'm just going to start that rocking motion. Rolling around that same hamstring insertion point. If you really kind of lean into it a tad, there's a moment where you get a really good hip compression there. You'll know the moment because it feels good and also kind of at the same time, right? Keep it going. So I feel like over the years of practicing yoga, the biggest lesson that comes back time and time and time and time again, just like in life, is patience. If you become impatient with your body, if you become impatient with your practice overall, you're going to rush things. You're going to push yourself into not just asana, not just physical places in your body, but you're going to push past some very important work that needs to go on in your mind, and even more so in the breath, in the breathing. And I think this happens a lot when people are somewhat new to yoga. They feel like they want to progress and see some result, and this is when injuries usually happen, because we're just not being as mindful as we can. And so although sometimes it is hard for those of us who've practiced for years to slow down and do things like this, it will eventually get you further in the long run. It really will. I've had to continuously learn that lesson, and even still to this day, I have days where everything feels good and I push myself a little too far and I do a posture I haven't done in years, and then I pay for it for a while afterwards, right? It's like a little slap on the hand for being somewhat pushy or greedy in your body. So don't be hard on yourself. It's okay to do these really simple movements and these really simple stretching classes from time to time, because they will help you with those moments where you do feel like you're ready to go a little deeper. You'll have the knowledge that you need to take good care of your body, right? All right, things are feeling pretty good. Then just find a stationary place, or you could put this heel over into the lotus position. I'm not going to go there on this side today. I am just going to kind of rest my hand in between my foot and my thigh. And again, keep this one here so that the knee feels supported. And then I'm going to just work on sitting up tall, taking some roundness out of the low back. And I'm going to listen very closely to what the body's saying here. I can tell that my right hip wants to relax a little bit, and so I'm going to put my focus there. Just try to remind myself to unclench my right butt cheek. I can feel some tenderness out here. So this might be a good opportunity to just work your fingers along any little ridge of tendon. Maybe you're feeling a bit more back here, sometimes using your thumb in the crease of your hip and just pulling back and down. Give yourself a little bit of an adjustment. Other times you can use your thumb in the inner arch of your foot here and just kind of work it along. Give yourself a little foot massage, and you'll find when you get a little closer to the knuckle of your big toe, there's some good pressure point spots in there. Actually, working along the instep of your foot is a trigger point for the hamstrings, and so it does help us relax the entire back side of the leg. And these are those little moments, right, where you just find out something about your body. Find out what feels good and what encourages you to let go. And one more deep breath, and then carefully release. Stretch both legs out, shake them around a little bit, wiggle the toes, roll the ankles. All right, let's take our first little vinyasa here. So we're going to tuck the feet through, plant the hands, roll forward, and step back to a high plank position. Most of you are familiar with this movement, but once again, it's always nice to just go back and review. Chaturanga Dandasana. Elbows stay tight to the ribs as you lower. It's just like a push-up. Your butt's not up here. You're not diving down with your chest and chin first. There's no swooping or sweeping. It's just lowering down. If you want to do that with your knees on the ground, great. Pull your belly button tight to your spine. Untuck your toes and then just push through your hands. Okay? So again, I didn't swing my chest through and do any sort of hyper extension in the shoulders. It's just straight down, straight up. Take as much of a back bend there as it feels good. And then if you're on your knees, great. Otherwise, lift from your core, take it back, downward facing dog, and exhale. Your right foot's going to take a big step forward here, outside of your right hand. Turn your toes out just a tad, and then anywhere in a runner's lunge position feels good to you. You can stay up here. You can try one forearm or two forearms on the ground. Really think about all 5 of your toes. Press them all down. Instep of the foot, outstep of the foot, heel and the ball mount. Everything rooting down. Now there's no need to hold on in the neck or shoulders, so relax there. And press back up to the hands. Inhale as your chest comes up. Tuck your back toes in with that knee. We're going to turn the toes forward first so that we're in a good safe position here. And then step up and just swing that left leg behind. So all I did was curtsy into this position, right? Left leg is on the ground, right knee is up. And take a little spinal twist to your right for a moment or two. A few deep breaths there. I'll let you decide how far you want to go with that twist. You can hook your elbow or hug your knee. And take it around the other way, just for a breath out. Oh. Sometimes if you're lucky, you can get a good back crack there. And then come back up. Take a hold of your left ankle here and just pull it in a tad. Again, this might be it. If you're a really bendy person, lift your butt, squeeze your knees in a little closer, feet are going to flip out to the sides, Gomukasana, cow face pose. Another opportunity to work your thumbs into the arches of your feet here. Get things to loosen up a little bit. You can lean forward as much as you'd like. You can even bring the hands out here. Forehead or chin down to rest on your kneecap and breathe. Bring it back up on the inhale. Hands behind you, rock back here, and you're just going to kick that bottom foot out. Now readjust, pick up your hips a little bit, scooch them forward. We want to let this knee relax out to the side. So figure 4 position. If that means you need to move your foot way out in front, that's fine. Otherwise, you can keep things in a little bit closer. And now again, just rock. You're going to feel that same hip compression that we were doing earlier. Rolling around that sits bone. From the side here, we're just leaned back far enough on the hands that you can get some leverage. If you want to take that down to your elbows or forearms, you sure can. Whatever you're up to, keep it going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, bring it back up. Untangle the legs. We'll just tuck them through. Same thing we did before. Step, walk, or hop it back. Top of a push-up, lower down. Chaturanga. Inhale, lift through. Up dog or cobra. And back to downward facing dog. Left foot's going to take that big step forward now. Outside, toes turn slightly to the diagonal. I'm going to lower down onto my back knee. Stay right here. 2 frontal hip bones are heavy and dropping toward the mat. And then you can try one or both forearms down. Listen to the sound of your breath. Notice anytime it feels like you have to make a conscious effort to really breathe, that's your body's way of saying, don't go any further. Stay here until you can comfortably breathe. When a posture starts to feel to you like just an easy seated pose, right? I think when we just started class and we started in easy seated posture, when a pose feels that second nature to you, then maybe it's time to try some deeper variations. But until then, just focus on breathing. All right. Come back up to the hands. Breath in. Good. Get one more nice low belly frontal hip stretch here. Turn the toes forward. Good safe position here. Come off the back knee. And then I'm just going to step and sweep. Leg goes behind. Lower to the right hip, and then you can make a little adjustment there. Left knee is up, right arm will come across. Open up the chest and rotate. Around the other way, quick little twist. From this Ardha Matsyendrasana position that we're in, we'll move into Gomukasana just by picking up the left foot and pulling it back a little bit. Making some other arrangements if need be. A little adjustment by picking up your hips, trying to stack your knees. Ideally, we're working to level out the pressure in the hips, right? So we want both of those sits bones on the ground. And then close your eyes and just see if there's any more weight on one side than there is on the other, and feel it out. Are your collarbones even? Are your shoulders even? The sides of your body both feel nice and long. Both sets of glutes relaxed. If you're adding some forward fold to this, go right ahead. on up. Hands back behind you. Just rock back. And again, we're going to kick this bottom foot out. Help yourself into this figure 4 position. You can leave your foot way out here, or you can pull it in and scoot your butt forward, whatever you like. And then again, we're going to try to get out of the rounded back by lifting the chest up and rocking. You find a moment that feels pretty good, stay there for a second. Always the option to try taking that down onto your forearms. That'll bring you a little bit deeper into your low back. Three, two, and one. All right. Work your way up. Turn back around here, and then we'll just extend that bottom leg out, all right? So notice that I'm still in this figure 4 position. We're gonna try this whole thing one time through as a flow, and then we'll call it a practice. I'm all set to go here, and I'll try not to use right and left because I'm not sure if everybody's doing the same side or not. So whatever leg is on top, pick it up for a moment. Just like you did before, bring it in, pull your belly button a little bit tighter to your spine and your heel a little closer to your navel. If you make Lotus Pose, you can set that leg into position for Lotus. If you don't, that's okay. Just hold on here. If you're not doing Lotus, in a moment, you're just going to cross your ankles and take them through. If you are doing Lotus, you're going to pull this bottom foot through, keep the Lotus on the top, and then as you lift up here, it's a little bit of upper body strength, kind of a yogi trick. Take it back. I've still got a Lotus going. Then I release it at the bottom. Pull through to up dog, back to downward facing dog. All right. Pick which foot you want to do and step it forward. Big stretch into your hips right there. This time, if you wanted to add a little bit of an open twist or anything else that felt good, go right ahead. Exhale, take it down to a bow. Inhale with the chest up. On the exhale, I'm going to push the ground away and slide my back leg underneath. Deep breath in. Twist toward your upward knee, whatever that case might be for you. Unwind. Counter twist to the other side. Back to the middle, take a deep breath in. Grab this front foot and pull it back. Lift your butt for a second and set it back down. Gomukasana, holding your feet or stretching your hands out in front. Take a nice big bow. Take that stretch further now into your butt. You should feel that in the rotators, those outer meaty muscles of your hips. Inhale. Rock back. Swing the bottom foot forward. 1. Tick-tock, back and forth. 2. One more time. 3. And voila. Through the middle, slide your bottom foot forward. That should automatically give you the other side. Pick this foot up, move it around a little bit. Rock out the hip. If you're going to make Lotus on this side, pull your heel up. I'm not going to this time, so I'll just stay right here. 2, 1. Here comes a vinyasa. Remember, you can do that little Lotus trick and roll forward, or you can just release, tuck the bottom ankle in. Plant the hands, step 1 foot, 2 feet back, and exhale. Now you're going to have to use your brain here and think about what side you still need to do. Step that foot up. Drop into the hips. Maybe you add a little extra twist or open your chest for a moment. Close that down. If I was going to really work this sequence, I'd probably do this opening and closing movement a few times. So if that's something that you want to pause and go deeper, you can open and close a couple times here. Then work your way up. Toes turn forward first. Make sure you can take a little bit of weight into this foot as you come off the back knee and swing the leg behind. Drop the hip. Take your twist the other way around. Inhale. Low belly muscles are going. Okay. Keep them tucked in as you exhale, rotate deeper. 2 and 1. Around for a quick twist the other way. Back to the middle on your inhale. Grab that front foot and pull it back a little bit. Quick adjustment if you need it. Grab a hold of your feet or hands out in front and exhale fully. Inhale, come on up. Hands behind. We're going to swing the bottom foot out. Figure 4 position. Again, you can lift up, make an adjustment, rock it side to side. There's 1, 2, last time, 3, to the middle. Good. Extend your bottom leg, and then you can see that this will just keep starting over and over and over again. It's gonna continue to keep going, and so feel free to do it 3, 4, 5 times until you really feel opened up in your hips. For now, we're gonna let it go. We're gonna come out and find the toes one more time, just like we started with a forward fold. We'll end with one as well. Rolling up and down, hollow out your belly. Use your core. Take it all the way onto your back. And when you get there, relax. Right knee gets a quick squeeze. Let it go. Left knee gets a quick squeeze. Stretch out one more time, everything nice and long, both knees at the same time. Use your low belly to pick your feet up. Pull in, Apanasana. And then let it all go. Make any comfortable shape with your body for Shavasana. Final resting posture. This is when your body gets to absorb all that information. So don't get in the way of that absorption process by letting your brain and your body get ahead of themselves. Still nowhere else that you need to be. You're still taking care of yourself. This is still your time. So don't let yourself steal it. Just relax. As always, I'm going to encourage you to stay right there. Don't move a muscle. Keep taking good care of yourselves. Keep paying